You know and I know that there are about 8 people who have to go because their decisions, this is not a Murdoch media conspiracy, it is now proven, their decisions led to the failures in hotel quarantine, and every case in Victoria in the second wave that led to more than 700 deaths was as a result of hotel quarantine failures. There are 3 politicians who should go and go now. Daniel Andrews, because he allowed a process to flourish where nobody double-checked, where he never walked out of a National Cabinet meeting where he knew that his scheme was not the same as the one around the rest of the country. What about the bloke who ended up signing the piece of paper, that's the Jobs Minister, for $30 million for these security guards? What about the Police Minister who never questioned, never pushed back on the Police Commissioner's decision at the time that it shouldn't be us, it should be private security guards? Because presumably the police in Victoria, well, I don't know, they wanted to go after people at the Mornington Peninsula for fishing. And despite the fact that he said that he wants to be accountable 150 times over, Daniel Andrews, yet again, is pretending that to ask for that accountability, well, that's just crazy talk, right?
I don't run from challenges. I don't run from problems. I'm not someone who quits to avoid doing the hard work that needs to be done.
Okay, so why is it appropriate that Ms Mikakos resigns, but it's not appropriate for you to resign, and in your view, that would be you running away from challenges?
Well, you would need to ask her.
So let's get this right. On his watch, their mistakes lit the bushfire. He now wants credit for putting the bushfire out. And then he wants credit for being able to approve and rebuild the buildings that were torched and destroyed because of the bushfire that only happened because of the failures of his government. Welcome to the idiocracy that is Victoria in 2020, where to ask any questions, and wait till I show you this in a few minutes' time, any questions of this bloke, you're the one with the problem. So now it looks like the ones who are under the pump, most likely 3 members of the public service. All of these people should go. Of course they should go. But their relevant ministers should go as well. That's the Premier's chief bureaucrat. He's the one who says, well, I think that someone told me about ADF offers, but I never really passed it on to anyone. The other bloke advises the Jobs Minister, and the Sheila was in the Health Department who thought, oh, I thought this was all settled. Yet when asked about whether these people should go, despite the fact that the council assisting the hotel inquiry summed up and said these people are some of those ultimately responsible for that quarantine mistake, quarantine stuff-up, quarantine destruction that led to hundreds of people dying and millions of people not able to leave their home, he'll stick with them.
Chris Eccles is an outstanding public servant, and I have complete confidence in him.
Honestly. As long as the sacrificial lamb was offered up as the Health Minister, then basically everyone else needs to get a pass. Under the cover of COVID, everyone was a little bit confused, but nobody went and double-checked. That's the problem, Dan. Now, watch today as there was an exchange between the Australia's Rachel Baxendale, oh, I know, automatically part of the Murdoch conspiracy, and the Premier when she tries to ask him about what was patently obvious by council assisting to that hotel inquiry. She tries, and watch him bat it away, because he knows that as long as the criticism of him can be written off as the Murdoch media, then somehow everyone else will save his ass.
Already told council assisting that she should find that your 3 key public service chiefs failed to keep you and key ministers informed about major problems in hotel quarantine that have claimed 768 lives and caused more than 18,000 people to become infected. Why do you need, I mean, is it even, given those findings, is it appropriate for you to maintain confidence in those people
well, Rachel,
another 6 weeks?
Rachel, if I want to be as respectful as I can, you've just put it to me that findings have been made. No findings have been made.
I said that council assisting had recommended
I'm sorry, Rachel.
She fined.
Rachel, it is my practice to listen very carefully, and what you just put to me was that Judge Coate had told. She said nothing. She said nothing. What's more, you just put it to me, and I'm happy if I've interpreted your question wrongly, or if it needs to be rephrased, we can go from there.
I told you what council
you just put it to me that there'd been findings made.
She should find.
Well, we didn't actually say that, but in any event, let me go back to the first point. Well, Rachel, you didn't. And if you're going to put something to me, then I'm entitled to respond to it the way it's put to me.
Seriously? We're playing word games with the reporter who is asking you about the very clear evidence that was given by your dopes in the public service, by your ministers, who all played the I know nothing game. This is the bloke who, remember, said, oh, I'm totally accountable.
Ultimately, I'm accountable. I am accountable for the decisions that are made.
But look what happens when you try to hold him accountable. And by hold him accountable, just simply get him to engage with what everyone can see. But just like in Queensland, just like in Victoria, the lefties believe you can't see what's really going on. That the most obvious things are not visible. Everything's fine. I've got a job, you've got a job, the bloke from the ABC's got a job. What are you whinging about? Move on. Of course he should go. Of course the minister should go. Of course anyone who made the decision and then failed to follow up on the decision should go. That's what accountability looks like. Victoria passed a law that said that if you own a building company, I'm going to say this every night because it's the clear double standard. If you own a building company, the suits in the boardroom will be held personally responsible if somebody dies as a result of safety that didn't work on a work site. 768 people have died as a result of the failures of safety in hotel quarantine, the decisions made by the ministers, the public servants and the Premier who knew those decisions were mistakes.